flight, the Norge floated across the North Pole. Norwegian, American, and Italian flags were dropped in celebration before the giant airship completed its journey.
Amundsen noticed something on the ice below. The Italian flag that Nobile dropped was bigger than the other two flags, and Amundsen was furious with the Italian pilot.
Despite the expedition's success and Amundsen cementing his status as a legendary explorer, he just couldn't let that detail go.
In his autobiography released the following year, Amundsen called Nobile a vain, arrogant, and boastful man who had no business being in the Arctic, because he couldn't even ski. This was an intense and bitter rivalry, fueled at least in part by Amundsen's arrogance.
And be the first to set foot at, not just fly over, the North Pole.
Umberto Nobile returned to Kings Bay in 1928 with a nearly identical airship to the Norge. His new ship was called the Italia.
Disaster. Nobile did reach the North Pole, but ended up crashing the Italia on the remote sea ice on their return. The gondola was crushed and ripped off the airship. Nobile and 8 of the other men on board managed to escape the crash and await rescue.
But as they did, the wind picked up the Italia, never to be seen again.
The remaining crew had to wait for a potential rescue out on the ice, surviving only on what little resources had been left from the crash.
Search parties were sent out to look for them.
But during the search and rescue mission, tragedy struck once again. Amundsen's plane crashed and vanished somewhere in the Arctic.
While Nobile was rescued by another plane and survived the humiliating ordeal, Amundsen's body and plane have never been found. This titan of polar exploration lies permanently below the ice, somewhere near the North Pole.
Over the years, the giant timber hangar was dismantled and salvaged for parts in local projects. Almost no trace of the history of this place.
This metal tower and the hangar foundations are the only remaining evidence of an incredibly vibrant time in exploring the Arctic, silently commemorating one of the great legends of the heroic age of exploration.